Hey guys, this is Carrie, and in this video, I have these hover effects already from the other video. If you don't have those yet, don't worry. You can watch the other video to see how to do it. But in this video, what I wanted to show you is I feel like my website does not look so good because it's kind of like taking up the entire screen. I'd like to package it so that maybe my website is all like kind of together as a group, and then I have like some space on the sides. So I wanted to show you a way that you could do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group my entire website inside of a single HTML element, and then I'm going to shrink that element down, and I'm going to change some backgrounds. So here we go. I'm going to go to my HTML, and I'm going to put inside of the body, and before my H1, because I want to put everything in my website inside this box, I'm going to create an element called a div. And a div is an element that has no like styles, it does nothing on its own. But I want to put my entire website all the way down to this last image inside of this element called a div. And because my entire website is inside of this element now, I can apply styles to this element and they'll apply to everything on the page. So let me go to my styles.css, which is becoming quite long now. And I'm going to take my div element, and I'm going to do a couple of things to it. I'm going to give it a background, just so I can see what's going on here. So let me make the background yellow. All right, so I can see that my entire website has this yellow box around it. And the things that I colored separately do have their own boxes, which is okay. And the reason why those have their own boxes is because I gave them their own background colors. Sorry, their own background colors like blue, or purple up here, this purple. So I'm going to start to shrink my div down here. So I'm going to make the width of it equal to something like 600 pixels. In order to help me distinguish as well, I'm going to add a background to the entire web page, which you learned in lesson 4, I believe, is to take the body and add a background to that. So let me add a background to that I haven't used yet. What's a color I haven't used yet? I wish I had the autocompletes. I'll do gray. So now what you can see is I've got my div here with the yellow background, and I have the body, which is the entire website that's showing, with the gray background right here. I'd like to move this group into the middle of my web page. So what I'm going to do is the space on the side of a page is called the margin. So I'm going to add to my div that I want the property that the margins of this div, the space on the sides of it, outside of the div, should be set automatically. Let's see how that looks. Cool. I'm liking this. This looks better to me. It feels more like a website. I think one thing I could do is I could add some padding to my div so that I have some space not outside of it, but space within it. So let me see how that looks. Padding 15 pixels. There we go. So now I've got some padding on the side of my div. It looks a little bit better to me. And then the last thing was there was some confusion when we tried to apply our gradients from a different lesson. I think it was lesson 4 as well. So I wanted to show you guys how you could apply those gradients. So instead of making the background of the whole page gray, I'm going to do something cool where I make it like a color that transitions into another color. So I'll delete the word gray here, and I'll set this to linear gradient. I have to put a rotation here, so I'll put something like 45 degrees, and then I have to put 2 colors, so I'll put red and blue. Let's see how this looks. Okay, that looks much better. So it looks like at an angle of 45 degrees, so maybe that's why it's going diagonally from red to blue. If I change this to something like 90 degrees, let's see how that would look. Okay, so now it goes perpendicular across the page. It kind of looks like a flag or something. I'm not sure I like that. I liked 45 better, so let me put 45 back. All right, and I'll refresh it a couple of times. Okay, I'm liking this. This looks good to me. I think that's sort of all I want to do here. You can apply all these different styles to the div that you've been learning. You could put a border on it. If you did the box shadow thing, you can put a shadow on it, which will look really nice. But I hope that this makes your website look much more complete in your eyes. Oh wait, there is one more thing. Shoot, in the linear gradient, you might make a mistake and click this color. Usually that's not a mistake. But it actually turns out that the website has a hard time using these colors when you click on it inside of the gradient. So if you want to find your own color instead, what you could do is you can go to Color Picker on Google, and then you can use this to select whatever color you like. So I'll just scroll that into here. And then to get this color into your website, you click this copy button. It's going to copy this code here. And then you can put this color instead of red. So I'll delete red. And then in between the two commas, I have that. And let's just see if this works, because I know a lot of people are having a hard time with this. Yeah, so I can see it does transition from that color to this color. And we have to use these alternative ways of encoding colors if we're using them inside of the linear gradient for some reason. All right, guys, I hope that your websites are looking better, and I'll see you in class. Bye.